All right, you're planning a trip to Disney World, thinking about riding Space Mountain and seeing your kid meet Mickey for the first time. You're checking out hotels and man, these Disney World hotels are expensive. You think maybe I can find a better deal at a hotel nearby, and you might be right. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Disney World hotels have incredible theming, great service, they're convenient if you're visiting the theme parks most of the time, but they're expensive and they don't have all that many perks to entice you to stay there, especially right now. With so many other options surrounding Disney World, there are a whole bunch of reasons to not stay at a Disney hotel, and we're going to fill you in right now on how to maybe save a little money out there when it comes to accommodations. Now, are we saying you shouldn't stay at a Disney hotel no matter what? Absolutely not. There's lots of reasons to stay at Disney hotels as well, but we're just pointing out a few new reasons to incorporate into your decision-making process. All right, number one is lack of availability. If you're looking to book a Disney hotel anytime over the next year, pretty much, you may have encountered the fact that there's just not that much available. Yes, Disney hotels often start booking up months in advance, especially more popular rooms or rooms with limited quantities, like the Pirate Rooms at Caribbean Beach or the Royal Rooms at Port Orleans Riverside. Or maybe Epcot area resorts during the Food and Wine Festival, particularly opening weekend. But right now, things are really slim when it comes to availability for Disney World hotels. I'm finding this regularly as I'm trying to book, that there's really only one or two hotels available for my dates, even if they're a year out. Now, there are still several resorts that haven't reopened at Disney World, which means there are fewer hotel rooms available, and the Contemporary Resort is having a big refurbishment on hotel rooms through September. The Polynesian is finishing up some room refurbs, and the Grand Floridian is slated for some hotel room work in early 2022. All of that means there are fewer rooms available to book, and as far as we know, Disney is still not filling up all of their hotels to full capacity as they continue to recall staff and continue with expanded cleaning and sanitation procedures in their hotels. Now, as you know, I've chosen to stay in a non-Disney hotel, the Swan and Dolphin, on my next trip to Disney. Now, these are great hotels. They're on par with Disney World's deluxe resorts. They've got restaurants, on-site fitness centers and spas, pools, generally more amenities than some of the cheaper Disney hotels. And they're run by Marriott, which is a super recognizable brand that you may actually be able to get points with. Now, you'll often find cheaper rates at the Swan and Dolphin than at many of Disney's deluxe hotels, which is a huge bonus because you get similar quality at a much lower price tag. The best part of these non-Disney owned hotels is that they're right next to Epcot. They're located right behind the Boardwalk Inn, so you can walk to Epcot's International Gateway, the Skyliner station, and you can walk to Hollywood Studios. You won't get all the same perks as staying at an official Disney hotel. We'll get into that in just a second, but you will still have free transportation to and from the park, some of which is Disney owned and operated, so this hotel is just as convenient in that perspective as staying at an officially owned Disney property. The Swan and Dolphin can book up. These are big convention hotels, but conventions aren't really happening right now, so you may be able to find a room at a great rate, even last minute. And like I said, you'll also be able to rack up some of those Starwood Marriott rewards points if you do that sort of thing, a perk that Disney hotels don't offer. Now, speaking of perks, one of the biggest arguments for staying at a Disney-owned hotel over anywhere else in the Orlando area are the hotel perks you get for staying there. Right now, those perks are few and far between because of COVID rollbacks. So you'll want to decide if these are really perks you're going to take advantage of and if they're worth the extra chunk of change you're going to spend to get them. Staying at a Disney-owned hotel gets you early FastPass booking windows, an extra 30 days before guests not staying at a Disney hotel. Also access to extra magic hours, which is extra time in the park before it officially opens or after it closes, complimentary transportation to and from the parks and the airport, and the ability to book the Disney dining plan along with a few other perks. But of those perks I just mentioned, most aren't available right now, and some are going away in the near future. No FastPass right now means no extended booking window. You need to wait in the lines like everyone else. Disney hasn't brought back extra magic hours, though they've teased a new early entry system that will give hotel guests 30 extra minutes in each park first thing in the morning. No word on when that may start. The Disney dining plan isn't happening right now either. This is a prepaid meal plan that's only available to Disney World hotel guests. Now, this one isn't necessarily a money saver, but it is a time and stress saver if you don't want to budget for food and would rather have an all-inclusive price for your trip. And the Magical Express, that free transportation for Disney hotel guests to get them to and from the airport, well, that's going to be discontinued at the end of 2021. And there's been no new free option floated out there, so we'll all be spending money on a taxi, rideshare, non-Disney owned bus, or rental car to get to and from Disney World from the airport going forward. Disney's also discontinued free Magic Bands. Hotel guests will still get a discount on purchasing these wearable park tickets that can do a lot more than just get you into the theme parks, but anyone can buy them. You don't need to be staying there. And of course, other perks like package pickup, where you can buy items in the park and have them sent back to your hotel. That's been discontinued for now as well. So what does staying at a Disney World hotel get you at the moment? Well, you get a bit of a jump on making advanced dining reservations. Those are your sit-down restaurant reservations, and you can make those for up to 10 days of your vacation starting from 60 days out from your day of arrival. If you're not staying at a Disney hotel, you'll need to make those reservations 60 days in advance of each day. This can come in handy for tough-to-get reservations like Cinderella's Royal Table or Oga's Cantina. Another perk is that you can charge purchases back to your room if you're staying at a Disney World hotel, and you can use your Magic Band to do it. That's actually pretty handy. It's convenient to not have to pull out your card to buy something at a kiosk or in a shop. But is that worth all the extra money you'll spend for that privilege? Now, there are several hotels around Disney World, Good Neighbor hotels they're called, that offer the same fast pass and advanced dining reservation booking windows, and previously offered access to extra magic hours. You may find better prices and more space at some of those hotels, and they'll also have transportation to the parks. Now, let's talk about space. Disney hotel rooms are not known for being spacious. Rooms at Pop Century Resort are only 260 square feet. At Coronado Springs, the rooms are 314 square feet. Even at the super expensive Grand Floridian, the rooms are only 400 square feet, and you're going to pay $500 a night, at least, to stay there. Yes, Disney World has villas that can have over 2,000 square feet, but those rooms are pricey, with cheaper two-bedroom villas coming in around $1,000 a night at off-peak times. Rooms at the Swan and Dolphin are 340 square feet, and at the Bee Resort by Disney Springs, rooms are about 355 square feet. So those non-Disney hotels are already approaching the deluxe resort size. On the same weekday night in mid-June 2021, you'll pay $150 more to stay at Coronado Springs over the Bee Resort, and it'll be a smaller room. I also talked in a video recently about how when I was looking for rooms for an upcoming trip, I saw that you can get a 1,500 square foot room at the Waldorf Astoria, which is on Disney property, meaning you're just as close, if not closer to the theme parks than many official Disney hotels, for the same price as a standard 400 square foot room at the Grand Floridian. Yeah, I might give up my Magic Kingdom views for 1,100 more square feet of space. That's like the size of a house, especially if I'm traveling with the whole family. Now, speaking of houses, maybe you do want a full house. Large hotel rooms can be great, but what if you want an actual house with more than 2 bedrooms, a full kitchen, laundry room, how about a private pool on site? There are a lot of Airbnbs and vacation home rentals around Disney World, and more are being built all the time. You will pretty much always find something available. And you can often find good-sized 3 or 4 bedroom houses with pools that are within close driving distance to the Disney parks for around $200 to $250 a night. That's cheaper than nearly every Disney hotel. We asked our Facebook followers for their stories and experiences with staying off-site at Airbnbs or other vacation rentals, and you had a lot of good things to say about it. Nicole B said can't beat the price and having your own space, and Crystal D said we stayed off-site during COVID because we felt like the property perks weren't there at the time. We will probably do it more often because it was relaxing. We had our own hot tub. We saved thousands of dollars. We got to the parks much more quickly, believe it or not. And we had tons of space to ourselves. There are those perks again. Another follower on Facebook, Brenda W., said we rented a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home with private pool and hot tub. It was cheaper than a week at Pop Century. Now, Pop Century is one of the most affordable Disney hotels, but you can get all that space for less. Nicole B. also went so far as to say you just can't beat the price, the amount of space and the relaxation. We would never stay on site at Disney again. Wow, that's a big claim. Follower Genesis O notes it's much more reasonable for large families, has a full kitchen for you to make full meals, and a bedroom for everyone to maintain privacy. Nothing compares to a resort stay though. If you can afford it, go for it. And Lynn A. summed it up by saying staying on property is magical, but staying off property is definitely a money saver. Now you can get a lot more space and savings with an off-site rental, but you want to be careful and book with a reputable company. I've been looking into a lot of these houses personally, and I haven't found a management company yet that I love enough to book with. So if you've booked with a great management company in Orlando, Airbnb, or a rental property, definitely share your experience with us. I've been looking at some reviews and I'm not quite sold, but maybe you've had a great experience. So check those reviews on Airbnb, do a little research on the property management company you're booking with to determine if you're comfortable with that booking. Okay, another reason why you may not want to stay at a Disney hotel right now, the discounts aren't as good. Fewer available rooms means Disney doesn't need to scramble to fill those rooms, which means they don't need to offer such robust discounts as the 40% off we saw when hotels first reopened. Flat out, Disney is filling rooms, so they don't need to offer great deals right now. And with the expected travel boom we're already starting to see as vaccination rates go up and pandemic guidelines are relaxed, this trend of fully booked Disney World hotels will likely continue. The biggest discounts we're seeing right now are around 25% off for the general public and 35% off for annual pass holders. You can find all the latest deals and discounts on the special offers tab on the Disney World website, and of course we cover all of them at DisneyFoodBlog.com and on our newsletter. Now it's worth checking those deals because they may help make an expensive Disney hotel fit into your budget, but without those major deals, you may be even more tempted to stay at a non-Disney property. Now, another sneaky cost you have to pay when you stay on Disney property is parking. This has been a big point of contention over the past few years. Disney hotels used to offer free parking for guests, but back in 2018, they started charging a nightly parking fee at all of their hotels. Guests do get free theme park parking if you're staying in a Disney hotel, but you will have to pay $15 to $25 per night at your hotel. If you're staying somewhere else and plan on parking at the theme parks, you will spend $25 per day to do so. Unless, of course, you're a member of an affinity group that gives you free theme park parking, like an annual pass holder. Some offsite locations offer free park transportation, but check to see if you need to pay for parking at the hotel or it's hidden in a resort fee. And you may be able to find a hotel that doesn't charge or charges less for parking per night than Disney does. This one is kind of a draw. Stay off-site and you need to pay for theme park parking, possibly on top of hotel parking or other resort fees. Stay at Disney and you'll get to park for free at the parks, but having a car can still run you a couple $100. But Disney hotel parking used to be free, so this kind of counts in the long-lost perks category. But say you don't have a car and you're relying on Disney buses, boats, monorails, and Skyliner to get you where you need to go. They're just not always that convenient. So our next reason that you might not want to stay at a Disney hotel, transportation takes a long time or isn't even open. Yep, they may run more frequently than off-site hotel transportation, which may only run once or twice an hour with multiple stops. But that doesn't mean it's fast by any means. The Disney website suggests you always leave an hour and a half of extra time to get where you need to go when using Disney transportation, and we 100% agree. You need at least that much time to make it to a dinner reservation, and that's if there are no major malfunctions like the Skyliner stops mid-flight. And the Epcot monorail still isn't running. That's an important one to remember. We have no idea when this will be back, but it certainly makes the money you're spending to stay at a monorail resort seem all the more costly when you're losing out on an easy way to get to a second park. Driving yourself will always be the quickest and most convenient way to get around Disney World, though obviously that has some pitfalls of its own. If you opt for a hotel that's within walking distance of some of the parks, you're not going to be able to beat the convenience, but those hotels are going to have a higher price tag, so that's another trade-off. Okay, so we've done some pros and cons. We've gone through some reasons not to stay at a Disney hotel and some new reasons not to stay at a Disney hotel that have just popped up with the pandemic rollbacks. Now, why would you still want to stay at a Disney hotel? Lots of reasons. When it comes to experiencing the whole of Disney World, nothing is better than staying at an official Disney World hotel to really be inside that Disney magic bubble. But it's going to come with a big price tag and not too much else beyond park transportation and theming, especially right now. If you're planning on driving yourself anyway, that transportation might not mean much, and you can find some incredibly themed Airbnbs in the area that rival the theming in a Disney hotel room. Some perks will be back, early entry and fast pass, we hope. And Disney does like to offer extra perks to hotel guests because why else would you stay there? Which likely means these things or new perks will return, but in the meantime, they're kind of few and far between. So why are you going to stay there? Well, you'll use the perks they do have. Magical Express can save you the cost of getting your own transportation to and from the airport, at least for the rest of this year. You love the theming. Nothing off-site can ever beat some of the hotels at Disney. You're not going to find something like the Polynesian at an Airbnb. And you found a great deal. If Disney does offer a great discount or promotion, grab it. You enjoy the convenience. If you're only visiting Disney World and you plan on eating at restaurants within your hotel and walking to the parks, if you don't need to rely on Disney transportation to get everywhere, you'll likely find the convenience factor of being at a Disney World hotel goes way, way up. So there's no denying there's something special about staying at a Disney World hotel. But if it's not going to tick all the boxes for what you need and want for an upcoming trip, you may be better off looking elsewhere. There are plenty of options around Disney World, so you can, without a doubt, find something that's a great fit for you. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. As you know, a lot of the stuff in this video is going to change as the pandemic updates go back to normal. So please, please, please join our newsletter. The link is right down below in the description, and we will get you all the information you need immediately in your inbox as soon as it's announced. So that can really help you determine whether or not a Disney hotel is going to be right for you. If FastPass comes back, if the dining plan comes back, all of those things make a huge difference to this choice you're making right now. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.